So there you have it. There's what she looks like sitting in there. I like it a lot. Looks really, really good. It's gonna look good. Once I get the rest of my dash all put together, we'll get that tilt column situated, sort that all out. I gotta get some formats for it too. I get some of those good rugged ones. But coming on along, I'm gonna go ahead and put the passenger side of the dash together. We'll get going on all that stuff, and I'll know about that column here in a day or so. So, moving along.
All right, so I'm gonna start here by installing the air vent. Now, first little thing I'm putting in right here is the little arm that opens and closes the shutter in the back, so you can turn off the air through the vent or turn it back on, whichever. Now, although I did prime and paint the entire dash and all the pieces, I did not do the vents themselves because I didn't want to add any material to them that might kind of jam them up and not let them move as free as I would like.
All right, so in this pillar right here, as you can see, got these two grounds that have got to get hooked up. This goes to a fuel cutoff switch. If you're very familiar with Fords, you know all about those. This went from the old wires that went inside the door, which we don't have anymore, so we won't be worrying about that plug. And this is just, I don't know, a random wire. Oh, yeah, this actually runs the cab lights. So I'm actually going to just drill some holes so I can kind of stick this thing up and out of the way back here. Make a hole so we can sit these, anchor these grounds right here. And I got a little mark. You see that red line right up in there? That is the top of where the fuel shutoff switch, it's got a hole in that kick panel that's got the speakers that goes in. It's got a little hole put in it so you can reach up in there and press down and trigger that fuel switch in the event that it ever gets tripped. So I kind of set the speaker pod in there, and I mounted it, and I marked that so that I can mount that fuel shutoff switch right there. So that's my next move. I'm going to wrap all that up, and also when I test fitted, I saw that I got to trim this carpet back a little bit more right here so that my speaker pod will fit in there the way it's supposed to. So see if I can move the camera to the other side so you can see what I'm doing here.
So it would appear that when I drilled this hole for this particular nutsert right here, I hit a piece of metal or something. Didn't get in there quite deep enough, so this rib nut wouldn't set like I needed it to. So I wound up having to just turn around and pull that joker back out and run a drill in there and kind of knock out whatever was holding it out back in there so I could try this again for the first time. Now, right up in there, there's an extension of the side of the dash that comes down, a little piece of steel that hangs down about 2 or 3 inches. I'm using just like a multi-tool from Rigid to reach up in there and hack the bottom of that thing off. Turned out to be a pretty formidable adversary there. It did not want to get chopped off. Luckily, I'm a pretty persistent guy, so eventually I get it. Spoiler alert. Alright, well, enough of this bullshit. The old Sawzall. That'll get the job done. So now we got to figure out just exactly how and where I want to put that fuel shutoff switch. You see me messing with the wires, trying to get them all pushed up out of the way because where this thing needs to go kind of tucks up under the dash under there. And even though it looks like there's a lot of space, there's really not. It's kind of tough to get up in there. Now right here, I don't even know what happened. For some reason, I could not get this bolt to start into this metal in this sidewall. I don't know if it's made of unobtainium or what, but it just took me forever. I'd try it and it wouldn't go in, then I'd drill a hole a little bit bigger, again and again and again and again. It took forever to get this one stupid little bolt in. It's like a little 6mm screw, I guess. So finally, after all that, I'm able to get the screws to start. So I had to get a ratchet and work the thing in the end. So we got our nutsert in there for our ground. Now we got our fuel shutoff switch on. We can drop our wires down and see about hooking this stuff up. Alright, so wires are all tidied up. So now let's see what this speaker pod fits like. See if everything goes in there like it should. Got my carpet trimmed back just a minute ago. I didn't bother putting that on video. Woo-wee! Look at that joker. Slide right in there like it's made for it. I think that's just so cool that actually worked in there like that. I never really expected it to. And I didn't have to do a whole lot to get it in there either. I'm still gotta put that wood block up in there. Screw or glue or something to hold it in place. But other than that, that thing's in there pretty nice.
Alright, so what you see is I'm fitting this pod in right here, and it all fits really good down at the bottom, everything the way it's supposed to, but right here I'm gonna have to screw a piece of wood or something onto this pillar. That way I can put a screw through the pod right here, because I'm gonna have one at the top and one down at the bottom, down in the sill right here, and that'll lock that thing in real good, so I won't have to worry about it going anywhere. Everything looks like it fits in here really nice right now, though. It sits good into the jam. Let's reach up in here, see if I can hit my little fuel shut off. Yeah, I can. It's a pain in the ass, but yeah, I can. Really, it needs to move back about an inch. But it will work. Rarely will that ever get tripped. But boy, if it does, I'm gonna be in trouble. I can actually reach in from the top. Nope, no, I can't. Well, I can always put a little tool like an Allen wrench in there that I can get in there and hit it with, so I can leave that in the glove box. Yeah, pain in the butt, but I really don't want to have to drill in more holes. That thing was actually kind of a pain in the butt. It had to be really precise. So, I'm gonna give me some kind of little piece of wood that I can put right here. See what I can get going on here. See how far up I gotta go. All right, well, that took a lot longer than I had really anticipated, but you'll notice this guy right here, this is actually a piece of wood that I cut and screwed in place that kind of wraps around right here. See if I can show you how it's shaped. Shaped thusly. Screws in there, that's out of that metal bracket. That way, once I set the little kick panel speaker pod right here, there'll be a screw that'll go into it right there. One that goes into the floor down here. We can mount our pod. Now my speakers haven't come in yet. I think it's going to be about another week before they come in. But as far as that goes, that is a wrap for that area. Now I'm planning on mounting the crossovers for the component set that I'm going to put in there. I'm going to put them in the glove box. So I got to drop 2 sets of speaker wires into the glove box area right there, and then drop 2 out and run them to each kick panel. I'm going to go in and do that while I've got all those pieces out, because I can get to them easily. Then we're going to put in the glove box, and we're going to put the airbag cover in. I've actually kind of had some thoughts about making a little wood panel that goes right here and just mounting the crossovers right in here. That'd be a really easy spot, and I could still use my glove box. So might do that. I'm not sure what you got to do to set up a crossover though. So I don't know. I'm leaning toward that right now. So we'll see. All right, so there's our opening right there. I've determined that what I'm going to do is our radio goes over there, so I'm going to pull 2 sets of speaker wires into right here. Normally there's an airbag that lives right here, but since my truck originally was just a work truck, it just has a cover that goes over right there, so all that's just open space. So I whipped up this guy right here, which is just like a little piece of poplar that I had laying around. It slides in there quite nicely. So what I will do, drill me a little hole here, because this hole's way too big. And I'll drill me a little hole right here. Put me 2 small screws in there to hold that little piece of wood down. Bring my 2 pieces of speaker wire over that'll run from my radio to my crossovers. Then I'll drop 2 sets of speaker wires over to this A post, 2 sets of speaker wires over to the other A post, and then whenever my speakers come in, I'll be able to put my crossovers in right there. Then just snap the cover and it'll all be covered up, and I won't have to worry about trying to fit them down inside my kick panels or anything. So I'm going to get to drilling some holes.
Now, as usual, something that should have been very simple turned out to be something way more difficult. I don't know what the metal on the inside of this dash is, if it's grade 8 hardened steel or what, but drilling 2 little tiny ass holes turned out to be a way bigger job than it needed to be. I don't know what happened. Had a sharp drill bit, but for some reason, I was just really struggling on this deal right here. So right here is where you're going to see me making life harder on myself, as usual. So this would be a good time for me to put that piece of wood in there and mark where my holes are, and then take them and pre-drill those holes, for the screws that I'm about to put in there. I did not do that like a big dummy, and you're about to see what happens when you don't do that. And this would be the part where I take a screw gun, shoot the screw up through there, and immediately split my board. And then I'll take the screw back out, and I'm going to mark the holes and take them and drill them like I should have the first time.
Well, as you just saw, Plan A was a bit of a loser. The holes I drilled were, I don't know, they kind of walked all over the place on me. And then when I went to put my piece of wood in there, I didn't pre-drill it. This is poplar, so it's pretty soft. I didn't pre-drill it, and then it ended up the screw holes being like right at the edge, so it split both edges. So I went and made me a new piece. Now I'm going to try and drill some new holes that are a little bit further toward the back of the truck here. So wish me luck. Hopefully this works out better than the last time. All right, well, there now. That's all mounted in there. Still, if I need to, I can pop out my dash and reach up in here from the back. I should be able to push this piece out if need be. So let's set it up there, see what it looks like. Actually, I changed my mind. Let's run some speaker wires. Then I gotta vacuum all this shavings out of the floor. And trim some carpet. And lots of other stuff. But first, speaker wire. Well, as has happened, I don't know, 3 or 4 times throughout this build, apparently my phone ran out of storage while I was in the process of doing speaker wires. But nonetheless, you can see we got a set of speaker wires coming from the radio, a set of speaker wires right here running down to where the separates will be. Got speaker wires right here, run over to the other side. So all the speaker wires are dropped. So I'm aggravated because I don't have my speakers, my speakers right now, so I can't put the crossovers in here and finish putting my dash together. I don't know, it's annoying when you get going on something and you can't just wrap it up. But nonetheless, gonna work on putting the glove box in here and kind of buttoning up all the panels on the dash that I can. I'm still waiting to hear back from my buddy about a tilt column. Getting a little aggravated waiting on that too, because I really want to move on and put that together. So with every day that we go further, I'm inching closer to just slapping that dude together with the column that's in it and just see how it works out. I don't know. I'm gonna try to call him again here in just a little while and see what's happening, and I don't know. We'll figure it out from there. So for now, I'm gonna start by putting in a few pieces of this dash. All right, well, I never heard anything back from my buddy on the steering column, so looks like this Joker's going to be non-tilt column, at least at first. So we're going to get it together, and if I decide I want to put a tilt column in it, I'll do that after the fact. But right now, I want to put my truck together. So I've got to hook up the shift linkage and a couple other small things on the column. I'm not going to video that because you can't see what I'm working on anyway. Once I get that done, we'll come back and we'll finish building out the rest of this dash, everything except the radio, because I don't have a radio yet either. That should be here any day now, hopefully. So we'll be back in a flash. For you, it's going to be like...
Well, all right. Well, congratulations to making it to another end of a fantastic video by me. So while it might seem like didn't get a whole lot accomplished in this video, actually we did. It really shows how a lot of times that the devil really is in the details. You know, the big things usually happen pretty quick, but it's all the little things on the background that just seem to really take forever to really drag a project out, you know, just and drag it out and drag it out and drag it out, you know. But there are things that all have to get done. Like I said, that's the kind of stuff that I really want to showcase in my videos, that it doesn't happen overnight. You just have to keep plugging away and get through the small things. But if you make sure the small things are done right, in the end, it makes sure that your project is that much better. Gonna get even more stuff done in the next video and upcoming videos. Stay tuned. We got more big things coming. As always, thank you so much for watching. Hit that like. Throw a brother a subscription. Help me out. YouTube's pimping me, y'all. Still, I ain't getting no money. YouTube's getting money. It's a shame. But comment if you got any questions or anything. If there's anything you'd like me to explain better about how I did, what I did, why I did. Comment, let me know. I love the interaction, and we'll see you in the next one.